Well, friends, in our previous session, we have gone through the topics like the operating system services and the kinds of user interfaces. And today, in this session, we are going to learn about the concept of system call, how it is being implemented and handled. At the same time, what are the kinds of system calls? We'll try to learn these concepts in detail. Friends, we have already made a definition for the system call in our earlier sessions. So what do you mean by system call? A system call is somewhere, it is a request to the operating system to perform a particular operation. So system call is a request to the operating system from the user application to perform a particular operation supervised by the operating system. In simple terms, we can say that system call is something like a call for the operating system to monitor the task in doing whatever the request done by the user application. So we can say that the system calls provide an interface to the services made available by an operating system. So we can say that system calls, the bunch of system calls which are available by the operating system, it is acting as an interface. Okay, so this interface will helps the user interface. These set of system calls help the user interface to speak with the operating system or to take the support of the operating system. So as we have mentioned that system calls is something like a function call, okay, raised by the user applications. I mean, it is trying to speak with the operating system. So since I am saying it is a function call, so assume that these system calls are being developed or implemented in a programming like C language or Java language, particularly C language, because C language has the ability to speak with the devices also. That means C language has the capability of making the device driver programs. So C language has the capability of developing device driver programs also. So you can assume that these system calls or somewhere or such kind of function handlings are being developed, or the source code has been developed through the C programming or somewhere any programming language which has the facility of working with the devices. Friends, let us try to understand how system calls are being invoked when you have specified a particular task. See, as a user, as a person who is outside the operating system, we don't know how many kinds of system calls are being triggered from our required job and how the system calls are being handled by the operating system. Let us try to understand with a simple example. Assume that you have written a simple C program or a Java program. Assume that you have written a simple C program or Java program in which the program is trying to take two files. The program is trying to access two files, and in which the first file is for the input and the second file is for the output. That means whenever you are trying to execute that program, the program is going to access file 1 and it is fetching out the data from file 1 and it is copying that data to the file 2. So this is the task done by our program. Assume like that we have a program. Assume that we have developed a program, C program or Java program. That C program is going to access two files. One is the input file, second one is the output file. That means that program is going to fetch the data from the input file, and it is going to copy all the data from the input file to the output file. So certain kind of program or certain kind of application, it requires several system calls. Let us try to see how many system calls might be triggered in between accessing these two files or while performing the application or while performing the above said program. So let us see in a step-by-step manner. So once the program has been executed, right, what happens? Let us see. Once the two files are being obtained, the program must open the input file and create the output file. So once the program has been executed, what happens? Now program has to access two files, and the first file is the input file and second file is for the output file. That means what exactly it has to do? It has to open the input file and the program has to create the output file. For example, if the output file is not there, if it is there, then it is also been opened. So this is the first task done by our program. What is the first task? The first task is it has to open the input file. Immediately it has to create the output file, because we have to copy the input file data to the output file. So it has to create the output file, and each of these operations require another system call, another kind of system call. See, opening the file, creating a file, assume that these are different system calls. Now you try to understand where are the steps required for the system call. Here, opening a file, it is a system call. Creating a file, it is a system call, right? And let us try to see the error conditions also. Let us try to see the error conditions also. For instance, if the input file is not there in the specified path, for instance, if the input file is not there in the specified path, then operating system will get back with an error system call. Correct or not? See, if I am saying that there are two files, file 1 and file 2. If file 1 is not there, then there is no chance to fetch the data. So again, OS will get back with a kind of system call or returning with some situation to abort the program. Correct or not? Because you can't move further to abort the program. This is one kind of system call. And look for the second chance. Look for the second chance. So we have the output file. We have the output file. If the output file is not there, then immediately you can't copy the data. So what is the first step? Again, what is the sub-step here? First, you have to create the output file. So creating the output file, you need to handle another kind of system call. So friends, try to understand what exactly the system call means. System call means, even though in a simple step you are specifying something to the operating system, please do some activity. But that single activity has been modified or implemented or triggers in a bunch of system calls, which will do in turn to accomplish the required activity expected by the user. Now, in order to understand what are those bunch of system calls, see, bunch of system calls means when you try to access a particular file, then For file handling, you need different kind of system calls. For process management, you have different kinds of system calls. And for memory management, you have a different kinds of system calls. And for protection and security, you have different kinds of system calls. Something like if I say that since you are creating a file and probably you have some problem with the memory or you have problem with the secondary storage, then the file cannot be created. Correct or not? Then the file cannot be created. So that means there was a hardware failure, something like a read, or system call is something like it is saying that there is a parity error. So the write operation may encounter, so during writing the data from one file to another file, you might be encounter with numerous errors depending upon the output device, something like no more disk space, printer out of paper, etc. There are different set of system calls will be triggered based upon the instance. Okay, so everything went fine. Your both files are perfectly working. So your program has successfully copied the data from file 1 to file 2 or input file to output file. Now once the transfer has been completed, probably in the program, in the C program, you will be writing a statement, printing some statement to the console or printing some statement to the monitor that everything went fine, the printing or the data has been transferred successfully. Again, the print command or the print statement itself will trigger another kind of system call, or somewhere it is the final system call which will do some other activity. So you can assume that for every second around thousands of system calls will be executed in. So even though the operating system is looking very simple, but a complicated activity. So for every second, you can visualize that thousands of system calls are being executed. That depends upon the sequence, what exactly user program or user application has intended. So let us try to understand a simple sequence through some diagram. So this is the diagram which we are trying to visualize. We have the source file, we have the destination file. Let us try to understand the system call sequence. First, we have to check for whether the source file exists or not. So that means acquiring the input file. Correct or not? Means acquiring the input file. That is a system call. Next, after that, write prompt to the screen. At the same time, accepting the input means write from prompt to the screen means if you are working with some interactive program, that means the program is not statically mentioning these are the two files. Rather, once the program has been executed, you have been allowed to give the name of the file. Okay, to give the name of the input file, to give the name of the output file. That is a little bit more interactive, assume like that. So for that, you have another kind of system calls running. So asking the prompt, at the prompt you will be asked, or at the screen you will be asked, what is the input file name? What is the output file name? Once you have specified the input file, the program has to take the input file. Taking the input file, you need to have a different kind of system calls running in the background. At the same time, asking for what is the output file. Okay. So taking the output file name, again it is running with another kind of system calls. Okay. Once the input file has been specified, okay, what the program has to do or what the operating system has to do, it has to run something like opening the input file. And again, it has to check for the file if it is existing or not. If it is not existing, then operating system has to abort the job. So for aborting, you have different kind of system calls. Okay, if everything went fine, then it has to create the output file and If the output file is perfectly created, everything is okay. If output file is not created, again operating system has to abort the job. Another kind of system calls. Okay, so both the files are ready. Then operating system will make a loop, correct or not, will make a loop, read each and every line from the input file. Okay, that line will be copied to the output file. If there is any issue, with in between, if there is any transfer issue in between, operating system will immediately get back to the user with different kinds of system calls. And so reading the data, reading line by line from one file to another file, it is been executing with a different kind of system calls. So if everything went fine, means reading is perfect. So closing the output file, closing the input file, at the same time printing the dialog, right, that everything has went fine, your data has been transferred successfully. It is, even that statement has to be executed with a bunch of system calls running background. So closing the terminal, it's also a system call. So this is a simple, even though it looks a simple scenario, copying data from source to destination through a program, but this simple job will trigger several or numerous kinds of system calls in the background. So you may put a question, sir, as a programmer, I don't know and I never require to know these kind of details about system calls. That's correct. As a simple programmer, you don't require to know, but as an expert programmer or the programmer who is going to develop an application programming interface or API. API is something like it's a pack of application, or it's a package of various applications into a single application. Then the programmer has to know in detail about the system calls, otherwise he can't develop the API. So that means most programmers never see this level of detail. That's we have to accept. Typically the application developers design programs according to the API, right? So the API specifies the set of functions that are available to an application programmer. So that means the API is permitting or specifying set of functions in which the programmer can do his job, or the programmer can specify his task. At the same time, during specifying the task, the programmer can also include the parameters and the functions and the return values based upon his request or based upon his intention. So that means when the programmer is going to work with the API, then he should be knowing about what kind of system calls he has to work with during accessing with the API. So it is something like going through the behind the scenes in a movie. So as a common viewer, as an audience, as a common viewer, you can see the movie, but understanding the system calls is something like watching the behind the scenes of the particular movie. So how that scene has been acted, or what exactly happening in detail behind. This is the same scenario. So understanding the system calls is somewhere you can visualize that watching the behind the scenes or watching the making over the scenes for any movie or video. So let us try to recall what we have understand. That is, so what do you mean by system call? System call is something like a call to the operating system, a calling for the operating system to do a particular task, and you have numerous system calls You have numerous system calls, and all these system calls are being made as an interface, as a bunch in the operating system, and this bunch is called the system call interface. And whenever user specifies a task to the operating system, this task might be in turn be categorized, or in turn may execute hundreds of system calls in the background to accomplish the user specified task. So that means all these system calls are being kept as a library, or it is called as system call interface. Even though a typical programmer doesn't need to know what are the system calls available with the operating system. Rather, when he is working with the API, when the programmer is working with the API, then the API in turn interacts with the operating system. Therefore, the user, when he is working with the API, then he has to understand, or he has to know what exactly the system is going to do in the background with respect to system calls. Look at the picture. You can understand what exactly is going on. On the top you have the user application, correct? On the top you have the user application, and user application is going to invoke a function called open. User application is going to invoke a function called open. That means user application may be accessing for opening a file or opening any project. Then that function, the open function, will be passed to the system call interface. Now look at the picture, friends. So up to now the user application is being at the level of the user mode only. It is working at the level of the user mode. Once the open function has been invoked the system call, now the operating system mode, or we call it as the kernel mode, came into the active. So the user application, the request from the user application has been once taken by the system call interface. Now the system is working in the kernel mode, right? So in order to accomplish that task, or normally we call it as the handling of user application, or user invoking the user application. In order to handle that task, for every function of the user triggered request, there is a bunch of system calls which will be triggered, as we have just now understand. So for that open function, in turn, in the operating system memory, or in the operating system, we have a bunch of system calls. See, look at the picture, friends. In the open, you can see an implementation of open system calls, and once these system calls are being completed, or are being executed and successfully completed, then the open function will trigger back the response to the system call interface. In turn, the system call interface will give back the response to the user application. This is the simple scenario, my dear friends. What happens in handling the system calls? User application will trigger a function. That function has an appropriate sequence of system calls, okay, in the kernel mode. Those sequence of system calls will be executed, and the response will be reverted back to the system call interface. Again, the system call interface will revert back the response to the user application. The same thing you can also see, or you can also visualize as a concept of function call. See, this is the left side. You can see the user program, and user program is triggering a function, and it is going to send some parameters for the call. So these parameters will be copied in the register, and these parameters will be copied in the register. Assume that we have a register and the parameter is something like X. So these parameters will be copied in the register. Again, based upon the user program, a system call will be generated, or a system call will be triggered in the operating system. Operating system in turn does that activity, or in turn triggers the appropriate bunch of system calls in the kernel mode, and it is going to take the parameters which have already been copied in the register as the input. Very simple, straight away. So it is simply copying the data in the registers as the scratch pads. Again, the operating system is creating an environment to execute all the system calls. Rather, here in this example, in this scenario, it is taking the parameters from the registers, since it all these parameters are already being copied in the registers. Very simple. Now let us try to understand how many system call interface of the operating system. So in any operating system, you can take like an Android operating system or Windows operating system or Linux operating system. Mostly all these operating systems will contain more or less the same kind of system calls, the same types of system calls, and these system calls depends upon the management at which level it is working with. So the system calls related to the process management, the system calls related to the file manipulation, or related to the device manipulation, or system calls related to the information management, or communication management, or protection and security. So every operating system service has its own kind of system calls. So look at the picture, you can see that for the process control, some system calls are somewhere like the end or abort. So end for ending the process, abort means the abnormal termination of a process. Load the process, execute the process. Or for creating the process, create process. Terminating the process. Or if you want to get the attributes of any executing process, then get process attributes or set process attributes. Or you can make wait for a particular time not to work with the process, or wait for an event or signal for an event, and allocating the memory for the process and deallocating memory for the process, or sometimes we call it as the free memory for the process. So these are some kind of system calls for the process control, like the end, abort, load, etc. If you're working with the file management, so then what might be the system calls for the file management? They are the create file, delete file, or you can open a file or you can close a file. At the same time, when you try to read the data from the file, then read function or read system call, or write system call. Or if you're working in a file and if you try to jump from one location to another location, that is called the reposition. Reposition is another kind of system call where you reposition different locations, or jumping from one location to another location. At the same time, working with the file management, you can also get the file attributes, or you can also set the file attributes, something like in which mode the file has to be accessed, read mode, write mode, append mode, like that. And coming to the device management, you can request for a device, you can release a device, or you can read data from the device, you can write data to the device, even you can reposition from one location to another location in a particular device. The same thing, you can get device attributes, you can set device attributes, or you can logically attach the device or logically detach the device. Something like, assume like device means a pen drive. So you can attach the pen drive, you can mount the pen drive, and you can eject the pen drive. It is the thing. And coming to the information maintenance, something like you can get time, or you can get date, or set time or set dates, or you can get some system data, or you can set some system data, or you can get some process or a file or some kind of device attributes. At the same time, you can set a process, you can set a file, or you can set some kind of device attributes. And coming to the communications, so we have, in our earlier session, we came to know communication means the exchange of information between two processes in the shared memory or in the through a concept of message passing, right? So creating a communication. Assume that creating a communication between two processes, or deleting the communication between two processes, or sending the data from one process to another process as a part of communication, or receiving the data, or send or receiving messages, right? So you can also find the status. What is, since I have made a transfer, what is the transfer status, whether it has successfully been received or not, or successfully been transferred or not. At the same time, you can attach a device or detach it remote devices. So all this comes under the communications. Friends, these are various kinds of system calls which have been associated in the operating system as a system call interfaces, and the kind of system call depends upon the request or the work which you have been triggered. You might be working with the process management system calls, or you might be working with the communication system calls, or you might be working with the information maintenance system calls. That's all, friends. In the today's class, hope you have got adequate knowledge about the system calls. At the same time, you can also visualize some kind of system calls with respect to various kinds of operating system management, something like the process management, information management, communications, etc. That's all, friends. We'll meet again in the next session. Have a nice day.